Backstage, a behind-the-scenes look at local arts and culture. Backstage with Tshila on ZiFM Stereo. Backstage with Tshila on ZiFM Stereo. Tshila on ZiFM Stereo.
Okay, we're going live. Good evening, my name is Tshila. Welcome to the program Backstage, the official access to the main stage. I hope you can hear us loud and clear wherever you're tuning in from. If you are in Cholocho, you can catch us on 97.9. In Vic Falls, we are on 106.5. Mtora Shanga, 97.6. In Kamatiri, you can catch us on 105.1. In Bulawayo, we are on 106.7. And in the studio with me tonight, it's a ladies' night. I'm joined by 4 beautiful, talented, and gifted artists. In the studio, I've got Ammara Brown. I also have Vera. And joining us also is Claire and Edith WeUtonga. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. We're all like, who talks first?
I saw a poster on Edith and Claire. It was written Bururu. What's Bururu? Who's Bururu?
She is.
Claire is my Bururu. Where Bururu is about friendship. Right. And well, it's a concept celebrating friendship. So we are at hashtag Bururu, Edith and Claire. Hashtag Bururu.
So is that like is that a band name, or it's it's what you use when you perform together?
Yeah, it's what we use when we're performing together.
How did the two of you guys meet?
Musically, in the circles.
I saw you in Bulawayo.
Yeah, but you were performing,
it's a bar.
I think she was performing.
Who was performing at the bar?
She was Claire was
in Metropolis.
Back in the days when I was still the backing voice doing
yes.
Alright.
And I'd gone there to just watch a performance with my younger sister, and we were like, wow, this girl's from Harare.
You know how it is with Bulawayo.
Yeah.
Like, girls from Harare.
Yeah, exactly. And so just, checking these girls from Harare out, what they're doing, how they sing, and we struck a friendship from there.
So when you saw her perform, you were not yet in the music industry, you were still a fan?
I was, but coming from a smaller town.
Alright.
She was with Amakos.
I was with Amakos Igazi and Fivefold.
Alright. Which small town do you come from?
Well, I'm born in Kanoma.
Oh, that's a huge town.
But when it comes to how things happen, where they're happening, the greener pastures. You see, the belief was that Harare is the greener pastures.
You will be shocked how many people were born in Kaduma or people come from Kaduma. We've got TK here. We've got TK here with
we've got Charles Chipanga. From film we've got Anopa Makaka. We have a lot of
I was born in Karuma also.
And it also depends, really, because you might be coming from Rio Tinto.
And Jimmy Buzoze is from Kanoma.
And you know Kune Zimbabwe is not Zimbabwe Msana Wenzo.
Yeah, it's a couple.
Do Iko manje, do what I got.
Serious?
Iko mna machando panaba 5.
Dude.
So how difficult was it to break into a male-dominated industry?
I don't know if we have broken into the industry, but I will say we're still fighting the war. Really, we were still trying to penetrate into this industry. All I can say is, if only the men can give us a chance to break them.
You want to be given a chance.
Because if we really fight for it, really we want to win, so we really have to be given a chance and say, please, can we break you?
Let's say if I was a genie.
You just lost me. Like, what?
Let's say I was a genie and I granted wishes.
Okay.
What would you wish for in the music industry? You know, in this breaking into the industry thing, what would you want? What sort of support would you require?
Well, I would say Zimbabweans, please eat local content.
All right.
Yeah, please love us. We are your food, if we were food. We are your industry. We are your art. We are your artists. So please eat us. We need that. Yes.
We need to be eaten.
And Edith, what would you know? We've got other players in the music industry. We've got 2 radio stations, and very soon I'm sure there will be a couple of more radio stations.
It's a very good thing that you mentioned, particularly more radio stations.
Yeah.
You see, I love a situation where you get to play the local content. Someone posted on Facebook that, some station, I will not mention names, plays like 3/4 of Nigerian music, South African music, house, chi-chi-chi. And yet we've got this sitting in here, local talent, very good talent.
And we are going to make the listeners listen.
And yet, you know what? We get played, we are the 5% of the 100% of a program.
And when they do play local content, it's like they are playing this English song. So most people don't know it was a local song.
They don't know if it's local or not.
Alright. And do you guys do live shows?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What do you have lined up for us?
Well, this weekend we launched the first #Bururu concert. It's coinciding with Valentine's Day, but yeah.
It's the official
Nama after party.
And,
you're performing at the Nama?
Yeah.
We are the official Nama after party. After you go to, when you go to the Namas, you come back to our show. Yes, and after that we are taking it to Junction 24, beginning of March.
#Bururu will keep on. Beginning of March, #Bururu goes on, further. So
and
we have
after that we're taking you to the Zimbabwe German Society.
yeah. Hey.
We're busy.
And after that we're taking it to England.
All over the world.
No, they say if you can't beat them,
Join
them. So you create your own spaces, you create your own platforms. That's why I was saying, if we wait for these men to give us this chance, for me it won't happen. So the thing is, you better create a product that's as good or far above what these men are performing, and really good, and also have those people that have the keys, the links to giving us the higher platforms, looking at us first, or also looking at us and being at par with our male counterparts, because it's not all good.
I'm going to come to Ammara. Ammara, had you met these guys before?
I know everyone in this room, hey. Yes.
We know each other.
Vera actually used to work for me, for starters. Claire and Edith, really. We're just all in the same circles. The Tuku tribute, Claire, we're both involved in that as well. Edith, really, aside from the Zimbabwean Music Union, that's already there, like from, how many years now? Do you know, I know 1 year ago.
And there I was ignorantly thinking I'm connecting you.
No,
We got
it was
you.
not you.
I'll tell you something about Ammara. I was really touched when we were doing a fundraising concert for my son just before we left for India. And just last minute, she just called and said, you know what? I want to be a part of whatever you're doing, to raise monies for your son to go to India for surgery. And there she was. She came and she was the first performer, was she, or the second one? And she put up a splendid performance. So we're sisters in here, and Vera is like my leg.
And we had this experience with Ammara, when we were taking pictures for visas and stuff, and her hair was like everywhere.
My hair was still in
and she had to borrow my dookie, and and I was like, okay, my hair is gonna go everywhere, and like we can exchange the turkey, you know. That was really touching.
Who's that taking the pictures? And and he took the pictures and he says, your hair is too big for the photo. So you need to, and I'm like, Claire, sweetie, I don't have a hair tie or an elastic. Please, can I borrow? And she was like, oh, yes, sweetie, shame. Oh, God. This was like 2 months ago.
Oh, my God. I just got a message for Ammara here. It says, Ammara, can you please come and perform in Kariba?
Oh, I would love to. Could you please tell one of your biggest promoters to bring me there? And I will be there in a heartbeat.
I'm sure the promoters are listening.
And if you want a prize, we have it right
Quotation and everything.
Yeah.
Ammara, what does your name mean? What does Ammara mean? I mean, everybody seems to get it wrongly. I got it wrongly the first time. They put 1 M.
It's 2 M's, yeah. AMMARA. It's okay.
Everybody
gets one shot.
If there's only 1 M, it becomes Ammara.
It's not the same thing anymore. So what happens, like in the WhatsApp groups, like all my close people, they call me Mara for short, and then they spell it with double M. Just so that people know.
No, that isn't.
Anyway, Ammara means, it's got lots of meanings depending on where you are in the world. But the meaning that my mother was aiming for was the Arabian meaning, which is a prophet's wife.
Alright. Intriguing.
Which prophet is this?
If I knew, if I knew him, I'd be married.
How would you define your music?
Oh wow. I define it as Afro-fusion urban pop.
Alright.
Boom. I'm trying to put it in a nutshell.
Almost like a crossover.
It is very crossover. It's a fusion. I feel like as Zimbabwean people, I mean the generation that I grew up in, we grew up listening from everything to, Whitney Houston, right down to Salif Keita and Angelique Kidjo, and of course Chioniso and my dad. My dad had me listening to, Jimi Hendrix and Bob Marley, as well as, the Yusundu. So, the music that influenced me is everything that comes out of Africa, as well as, more African American roots, etc., etc. So, it's hard for me not to fuse that. It's natural to me.
And how would you define yourself? As an artist?
As an artist...
What constitutes Ammara?
Wow, that's huge. That's a huge
That's like
question.
the whole universe.
I would say that I would be the young female urbanite. I'm reflective of the young female Zimbabwean urbanite. In a nutshell, I'd have to say that. I feel like when I perform in Malawi or South Africa, they're all very surprised that I'm a Zimbabwean, and yet I feel like as African people we're becoming more intertwined, as we are. We meet, we go into different countries, you land up in Nairobi. I feel like when I was in Nairobi, I felt like I was back home. It felt like Harare. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Nairobi, but it feels like you're actually in Harare. And then you find like all these similarities with the music and the cultures, etc., etc. And because we're also cosmopolitan, I grew up in Harare. I can't sell a dream. So I'm also the modern woman. I've been educated. I've traveled, and yet I have a strong upbringing within Zimbabwe as well. So I'd have to say that it shows through in the music very strongly.
All right. And what's the most absurd thing that you've ever heard of yourself? About yourself?
The most absurd. I've heard a number of absurd things, but to be perfectly honest, the most absurd thing I ever heard about me was that I was getting married.
All right.
Yeah, that was crazy. You agree? I was like, oh, yes. It was the craziest thing. I hadn't even dated this person for more than 2 weeks, I swear. And next thing you know, I wake up, 6 in the morning, you know, and my phone is on fire. Like, everybody's saying, yeah, what do you mean? What's this? You're getting married? People from South Africa, you know, sending me messages, all this crazy stuff. Like, what do you mean you're getting married?
Or like, how can you do that?
I was speechless. You know, I was like,
so what's your marriage talking about now?
I was so lost until I actually saw the tabloid myself. I cried for like 3 days straight. I cried myself to sleep for like 3 days straight. It was a very horrible time for me.
And how do you protect yourself from that kind of media?
You know what? I wish I had a solution for you guys. I really wish.
You ignore, I guess.
I landed up at the lawyers. I was not very happy, but most people don't know if I've had a relationship prior to that. Nobody knows any history because I've always been a very private person. Right. It just takes one person. I'm not going to mention the artist who ran to the papers. Never mind that person. Right. But it just takes one person to want to throw you under the bus, and you've had it. Yeah. And with the relationships, like I can talk to Edith or Claire or Vera in this room, and I can take it into WhatsApp and, you know, tell them whatever I want to tell them about my personal life, because we do become friends eventually. Yeah, you know, we build these very strong relationships. We're there for each other, and you trust these people. I don't know if the male circles have the same sort of thing amongst themselves or unity. I'm not entirely sure, so it's difficult to say. Once you're involved with someone in your industry, which is very easy to get involved with somebody who's in our industry because they understand that, they understand us. I'm not entirely sure. I can't give you a formula right now. All I've tried to do really is just I try to keep the rest of my relationship under wraps. Nobody knows
on a need-to-know basis.
Because I've seen some artists also, you know, they put a lot of stuff on Facebook. You know, even when you get married, you put your pictures, you put, you know, things that should be private. That is personal.
You know what? Listen, to be fair, you know, a wedding day is as important as a birthday or a funeral. You know, aside from your birthday and the day you die, I suppose your wedding day is the most in the middle. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people feel, a lot of fans also, because we're now in an age where people are not just listening to your music, they want to know, I mean, the craziest. It's so weird when a fan says to me, where do you live? I never tell them. It freaks me out so bad. I'm like, why? Do you want to stalk me? Or, you know, it's very weird. But people want to be involved in your personal life because the biggest entertainment house in the world is America.
Yes.
They have created a culture whereby they share so much personal information. And then everything leaks. Yeah. because it now becomes a part of the general fan base becoming attached to you. Yeah. It's not just about your music. Now they understand when you wrote that song, what you were going through. Yeah. So it's hard for me to say, listen, when I mourn my father, right, if you cry with me, or if I mourn my mother, it's hard for me to say, listen, nobody deserves the right to talk about that because that's my personal life.
And on the other hand as well, the thing is, they also need to feel you're human.
Yeah, they need to be reminded that we're human beings. Some people say to me, I was just telling, who was it? I was telling Vera, or I was telling, sorry, my manicurist actually. I'm sorry, I'm backtracking. I was getting my nails done and I was saying to her, you know, there's somebody, I was tweeting yesterday, and some of the things that people reply with, it's just so unbelievably horrible. It's like, how can you say that to someone? I know so many horrible, like, juicy, dirty secrets about people in the industry, but I never, ever, ever talk about them. And even when they do something wrong, I never, ever, ever run out and start saying, oh my gosh, did you see that headline? Or, oh my gosh, let me tell you guys something juicy. I never, ever do that. Because I know that these are human beings. You think, we're not Americans, hey? They've got 10 people tweeting for them. We actually
tweet ourselves.
So when you say something to us, and some people enjoy that because they're very bold on their cell phone, and they're very, very bold on their computers, and they say the most horrible things, and then people say, oh, you know, this is part and parcel, get used to it, but they forget we're emotional artists. If you know us at all, we're so emotional.
We're the most emotional. That's the
emotional people.
And it really hurts.
It does. It cuts deep. And that's the thing, like what Edith was saying about, it's just, we're all people. We want to share our experiences. And I feel like even in America, that whole culture of the reality shows is just a way for, like, yes, it's a marketing gimmick, but it's also a way to help people know that artists are people, celebrities are people. We also grew up, like, you know, everyone grew up started at one point and then they ended up at point B.
Vera, you seem to be everyone's little sister here. You know,
Yes, I'm
so
a baby.
what was your experience growing up?
It's really cold.
Yeah, you know. You know, what was your experience, you know, growing up?
Growing up, well, funny enough, I'm the baby of the family, so everything, I feel like in my life, I'm just always going to be that baby that everyone will always look down at, like, no, we're going to help you, so and it works as an advantage for me, especially in the music industry.
And she's coming from where she's going to where we are coming from.
Exactly, so
you're very lucky.
Yeah,
We'll always tell you, do not step there.
tell me what I'm doing. I learned from their mistakes, I'm like, I saw when she did that and it turned into...
Do you compose your own work?
Yes, I do compose my own work. I had the privilege. I have 2 songs that I worked on with 2 different people. One was Nyakujara, my literal like older sister, and my other So I also worked with her, and she wrote a song, and then she was like, "No, write the second verse," and she's like, "You can have it." So I
you know, we always have little time on Backstage. I can't believe it's been, it's almost 30 minutes. But what we normally do is we would like to share with the listeners, you know, the beautiful music that you guys construct, that you guys, you know, create. So we always do some live thing on Backstage, the official access to the main stage. You know, so that whoever does not gain access to your shows, whoever does not get access to your material, they can get to hear something, and then my message so with the little time that we have left, I mean, if each of you is going to get a chance to, you know, play a little something, and we're going to start with the older sisters.
How old are you?
You do not ask a lady that.
I'm in my 20s.
You know who's the oldest?
I'm in my 20s.
So
wise answer.
Wow.
Big
Can someone
sister.
play me a guitar, please, Claire? What are you going to play?
The usual.
What's the usual?
Oh, this guitar is beautiful.
Thank you. It has got my face on it.
I see that.
Yeah, we didn't talk about my guitar.
we will.
Time.
Don't worry, we will. Yeah.
Play.
Nice one.
Oh, we start from where we left.
Didn't
Atina kukula netanda katsitsiswa ndinotenda. Atina kumira netanda katsitsiswa ndinotenda. Badani kubata chisimbuza ndinotenda. Badani rovera chisimbuza ndinotenda. Atina iwe ndinotenda. Atina iwe ndinotenda. Kutambara imi ndinotenda. Imi ndinotenda. Imi ndinotenda.
Now a little something from Ammara.
Oh wow! Please pass me my beer. Thank you.
What was the song called, Clay?
Oh, it's called Ndinotenda, and Edith is called Mukaranga. But we joined these two songs because really Edith is talking about a woman who's supposed to be strong, and I am talking about a woman who is strong because of her upbringing, because of her parents. So really
Nice.
Mukaranga Ndinotenda fused together by Edith and Tshila.
And this is Ammara.
My heart is sighing and dying light. I swear out there it shall not be shed. I didn't feel for you this way. I mean to say, see you in the next lifetime. Love in the next lifetime. Love in the next lifetime. Love.
What's the title of the song?
The Next Lifetime. On the album. Coming soon.
If I ever get married, you should sing at my wedding.
I'll be there for free.
Vera, what do you have for us?
I'm gonna sing you the song that my first single that came out last year. So go for it. It's called Right Man. I can't see why he can't be like every other lover I see on TV. See, he beats me, he insults me. I know I'm not the only one, but he loves me. See, I can't go, I'm out of control. The thought of losing him causes a glitch in my soul. He's got my leave, my mama won't let me leave. Apparently he is the right man for me, the right man for me.
Thank you guys for coming through. We have come to the end of our program. This program should be an hour. 30 minutes, and the messages are coming through heavy. Ammara akaipa. Lady Clare the guitar akapenga. Does he perform worldwide? Did he from Epworth? Yeah. Powerful.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm in love. Great stuff. Dear Anons, I know you. And you know the messages are coming through, but unfortunately we have come to the end of our program. My name is Tshila. Join me again next week for another edition of Backstage, the official access to the main stage.
Backstage with Tshila on ZiFM Stereo. Backstage with Tshila on ZiFM Stereo. Tshila on ZiFM Stereo.